Mona, Van, thank you both for taking the time today. At the same time, I'm going to say, how's your day going?
It's okay. It's tough day in a lot of respects, but I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
Mona, same answer at you.
It's just a very heavy day. There's a lot going on today that we'd rather not be experiencing, but yeah, okay for the most part.
Well said. But I'm glad that we are getting to experience your new show for WeTV. I say that because as a private investigator, this show checks a lot of boxes for me. First, the investigation part. Second, the great artists and music. And I also love documentaries. So thank you for putting it out into the world. One thing I couldn't figure out, how many episodes are coming out as part of this season?
There'll be 8 episodes in this first season.
Okay. The first one we're getting to see Pop Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
When was it actually finished?
Oh, gosh. We're finishing it up as we speak,
Yes.
No, this was definitely a run and gun, production. We moved around and followed, the interviews as we could get them in real time. So yeah, the show starts airing on Thursday, but we are actually kind of polishing and finishing up the episodes as we're going to air.
Now, a question at you, Van.
Sure.
When they interview Alex Trebek in his heyday of hosting Jeopardy, they would go, how many of the answers did you really know? And he'd go, I don't know. In your case, how much of this episode of Pop Smoke did you know the real events before you started putting your stamp on the show?
So I knew the broad strokes of what had happened to Pop Smoke, but in terms of the answers that I was going to get from a lot of the people that I talked to, I knew absolutely 0%. And I mean that sincerely. What we did a good job of during Hip Hop Homicides was always talking to someone who knew a little bit more than me. Always getting with somebody who was a little bit more connected to it than I was. Therefore, my investigation, as much background information as I had, it was always very sincere. It was always very, it was real. So I was learning things as we went on, and we were all learning things together. So the show is real in that sense. So I would talk to somebody, new. The great research team would get in touch with somebody that I thought
I was just about to say that our research team was unparalleled.
Right.
We get a lead, and then it was about getting on it, tracking that person down, getting them to, talk to Van. For sure.
Yeah. So we would talk to somebody that I thought we would never get the opportunity to talk to, and I would learn all kinds of new things. So I'm excited for the audience to take that journey with us as well.
How are you usually tracking the people down? Is it skip traces? Is it the phone book? What's your procedure for finding people?
It was a combination of things. I mean, we had some incredible partners in Vanessa Satin, who, is an editor at large with XXL Magazine, who had a, vast Rolodex of contacts with folks. And a lot of it was the 6 degrees of separation boogie, as we call it. Like, we've got to know someone who knows this person's brother's uncle's aunt's babysitter, right? And we just kind of set about rolling up our sleeves and making those calls. Our research team was unparalleled. And this was such a huge labor of love. We wanted to, tell these stories. We wanted to get to the bottom of whatever we could during the course of production. So everyone went nonstop trying to get to the folks that we needed to get to help tell these stories.
Van, you're no stranger to getting tough interviews and doing them very well. That's a compliment. There's no but that's going to be attached to that. Van, you're great at what you do. In this case, though, are there a lot of interviews for this Pop Smoke episode that you didn't get, that you were still hoping that you could make happen, or did you get everyone you hoped for?
You know what? We basically got everyone that we hoped for. Most of the people that we really had to get to put the pieces together on this story, we got to them. And once again, like Mona said, that's a testament to the incredibly hard and efficient work that was done behind the scenes. But I don't think that there are any real players in this story that come from Pop Smoke's world that we didn't really get a chance to talk to. Maybe one or two people that in a perfect world you would have had, but as far as everyone we needed to talk to, we got them.
Cool. Well, as Mona tipped me off to, 8 episodes in this season. When you love a show, you usually want as many episodes as possible. But in this case, I don't know how many episodes you want of homicides of great, great artists. But is this the kind of show, Mona, that you're hoping will be seasons upon seasons of episodes, aside from the tragedy attached to it?
I mean, unfortunately, without even looking forward to what we hope doesn't happen, if you look into the past and how many, have lost their lives already, there are, countless stories yet to be told.
Yeah.
So again, like you said, it's a double-edged sword. In most cases, we want to have more episodes and more stories to tell. In this case, unfortunately, there are already so many to tell that,
Another within the last 48 hours, which is absolutely tragic.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's great that you're able to put your own stamp on it. And what I asked Van before about how much of it did you know, Mona, is it the kind of case where you're also learning so much and you didn't know these episodes before they were put together?
Oh, absolutely. We, chose the rappers based on a variety of factors, regions, the circumstances surrounding. We wanted, to give a broad kind of view of the different environments that they came from and the different elements that, surrounded their deaths. But there were so many details, especially in talking to folks who, would provide us with information that wasn't readily available, that wasn't already known, and our ability to kind of go down those rabbit holes and chase that information. There were tons of things that I think a lot of people will be surprised to learn as they watch the episodes unfold.
Something I'm curious about from both of your perspectives, and I'll throw it to Van first. Getting the interviews is sometimes the hardest part for a journalist, a producer, etc. What for you, Van, is the hardest part of this series?
The hardest part of this series for me was the human experience of it. Getting the interviews is one thing, doing the interviews is another. Just a mother's tears. Just a mother's tears.
Mm-hmm.
A mother never stops being a mother. Don't matter if the baby is 8 or 80. If she's around and they're around, that's still her baby. And a lot of these women, these fathers, these mothers, a part of them stopped growing and stopped living the moment that their child died, the moment that their, the baby that they took care of all those years died. And they want to tell those stories because they want people to understand everything that they've gone through. It's funny that you mentioned future seasons. I can't tell you how many people have reached out since we dropped the trailer of this to want to be able to tell their stories about guys and ladies that we didn't get a chance to cover on this season. So the hardest thing was just about sitting down there and going through that pain, reliving that pain through them and with them. So it was very tough, but it was something that we had to do for the show.
Mona, same question at you. Hardest part of putting together a series like this?
I would say walking that line, right? We wanted to give an honest depiction of their lives, but we also didn't want to be part of vilifying their legacies. And so, making sure that we were as honest and as fair as we could be in talking about some of the lows that they experienced, but also making sure that we celebrated those highs and we, gave an opportunity for the families and friends to share parts of their lives with them that, would give the fans, would give the viewers an opportunity to see them as human beings who, are no longer with us, but who left a legacy of love, and who left people behind who are still suffering from the loss of them. So, we really wanted to tell those stories in a, honest and holistic way, but to do it in a way that celebrated these people and the legacies of their lives.
Mm-hmm. Down to the last 2 questions here, going to both of you. Van, besides this great series, what's next for you? Are you allowed to say?
I mean, yeah, man. My focus is on this right now, but we got a lot of stuff coming out. Obviously, I'm still podcasting, and shout out to everyone at the production for putting up with my podcast schedule as we attempted to make a show that we went all over the country, different time zones and stuff for. But my production company has a lot of things coming out next year. I'm trying to get Mona to put me on the cast of Love and Hip Hop Miami. So you know what I mean? So I want to go down there and do that. So there's a lot of things in my future. But for right now, I'm the host of Hip Hop Homicides on the WeTV network and All Black on Thursdays and Mondays. And I hope that people tune into that.
Same question at you, Mona. What's next?
Oh, God. In the immediate future, I think just in light of everything that we're experiencing right now, just taking a minute. We've been going really hard all year. And, like we said, this was both a gratifying show to do, but it was really hard, right? Telling these stories and taking them through edit and stuff. So just taking a minute to enjoy family and really just take a minute to experience life and prepare myself for what 2023 has to bring. But we're so grateful to have had the opportunity to, put this show together. We hope the fans tune in and support the show and take away from it everything that we put into it. And, we hope that every single person who participated in the show is as proud of what we were able to accomplish as we are.
Right. Well, the last question before I let you go, and this might yield the world's shortest answer from both of you. Putting you on the spot here, I'm dialing in from Long Beach, Long Island, New York, a town that gave the world MF Doom, Lil Peep, Public Enemy did a music video here. There used to be a barber shop that R.A. the Rugged Man and lots of people got their hair cut at. Have either of you been to Long Beach, Long Island, New York?
I have never been, but I do have the distinction of knowing R.A. the Rugged Man. So there you go. That is my connection right there. Done. Van?
No, I've never been. We went to, where we went? We went to Far Rockaway, Queens.
Yeah.
And we were out so far that I think where the store was, might have been almost considered Long Island.
Almost.
It might have been almost. So that's as close as I've ever gotten. So
we're separated by a $2 toll bridge, but you're pretty close. The bottom line is, again, thank you both for putting this wonderful series out into the world. Mm-hmm. I hope there'll be a season 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, but as we discussed, also hope there won't be.
Right. I need those seasons to be retrospective. We need this madness to end.
Exactly. Thank you. Looking forward to both of your future projects.
Thank you so much.
Paltrocast.